Now on CoastTV News.
Circle sleeping changes. The action the Georgetown Council took last night as complaints about the homeless continue.
Brightness for bikes.
Safety first. We have too many people getting hit.
What Lewes is looking to do to increase cycling safety.
Good Tuesday morning, Delmarva. It's a breezy, mild start. I'm tracking a windy day with scattered showers and even more heavy rain and wind in the days ahead.
Worth the World Series wait. That was just before 3 a.m., the dramatic end to a marathon game in the World Series.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And we are making our way in the 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Today is Tuesday, October 28th. And Matt, what's going on? It's not holiday shopping.
It's not holiday shopping. Let's talk candy shopping because we all have a few days left to stock up for trick-or-treaters.
It's the last few moments. We all postponed it. We procrastinated a little bit. And we just talked about $114. That is how much each average American is spending this Halloween season.
Do you know what's dangerous about it? Is like, yes, I'm going to spend that. Half that candy will probably go here as opposed to the trick-or-treaters. Anyway. Well, you know, I know for Halloween that we are tracking a really nice Halloween night. We're going to bring in First Alert meteorologist Chris Masterbono. He joins us now with a look at the forecast. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Matt and Grace, and a pleasant good morning, Delmarva. Yes, we have some active weather over the next few days. Now today, really the threat is going to be that wind, and we're really seeing that wind howl at this hour at the beaches. We're at 47 in Dover. It's rather dry, but yes, rather windy. You see that strong east-northeast wind. So we're seeing gusts 29 in Rehoboth, 36 in Indian River Inlet, and 33 in Ocean City. Now temperature-wise, a bit cooler where the clouds are thinner and we're not seeing out much wind here in Harrington and Milford. Temperatures are in the 40s there, but 57 Rehoboth, we're at 57 Bethany, and 55 in Gumboro. So we're dry for now. We've seen few light showers across Accomack County. Most of the heaviest rain has been to the south. This area of low pressure is actually fighting this high to the north. Now, instead of going up the coast, this area of low pressure is actually going to push to the east, but I'm expecting a few scattered showers to roll in here through the afternoon. It's not going to be a complete washout of a day. We're starting out in the upper 40s to low 50s, windy conditions. And those showers, more of the nuisance variety today, and then we'll see a few isolated showers Wednesday, but heavier rain and more wind. In fact, we could see a threat of damaging winds as we go into Thursday morning, but the good news is it clears out just in time for the trick-or-treaters on Halloween. Mostly cloudy skies for our Tuesday. Highs getting into the upper 50s with those winds out of the east-northeast and showers developing through the afternoon. I'll go in more in depth with that more significant storm system later on in the week, coming up in the full 7-day forecast.
Thanks, Chris. Now, Hurricane Melissa is now a Category 5 hurricane. This video on your screen now is from the eye of the storm. It was recorded by the U.S. Air Force Reserves group known as the Hurricane Hunters. The storm currently is bearing down on Jamaica and is forecasted to be the worst storm in the island's history.
All right, well, we move on, and our top story this hour is an update to a story that we brought to you on Monday. Georgetown Council has voted to tighten rules on sleeping in the circle. The ordinance now bans it from sunset to sunrise, and this change comes after complaints from people living in the county seat about a growing number of homeless encampments near the train tracks and wooded areas. Those complaints came up again during Monday night's meeting.
Well, it's already a code saying they can't sleep in there. We just changed the time frame.
And with the action by the council, the rules take effect immediately.
New this morning, Lewes is taking the next steps in the Delaware property tax reassessment and its use and implementation of the Sussex County values. Now, here's what that includes: the regulation demanding new reassessments and tax rates to result in revenue neutrality for 1 year, and a proposed homestead reduction and overview of proposed implementation. Now, that generally is a property tax reduction on a homeowner's primary residence. According to the agenda, the Lewes Finance Committee could take action on this later today.
Cost of waste and recycling in Lewes could see action later today by the city's Finance Committee. They're looking at these recommendations. There are a number of them here, and that includes continuing a second trash pickup during the busy season on a subscription basis. Also a tipping fee for extra containers. If that one is enacted, that would bring in annually about $19,000. Also, they're looking at requiring all short-term rental properties to subscribe to the seasonal second pickup service. Those are just 3 of several items on the recommendation document at today's 10 a.m. meeting.
Now taking a live look at Savannah Road in Lewes. Now this area is where leaders could take possible action on crosswalks and lighting for bikers. It's pretty dark out there, as you can see now. This is going to be at the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. At a June meeting, committee members discussed a lack of crosswalks on Kings Highway and Savannah Road. They say to improve safety, that area needed better signage and crosswalk placement. One person we spoke with says there has just been too many accidents.
Safety first. We have too many people getting hit, getting hurt, getting killed.
The Lewes Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee meets today at 5:30 p.m.
Also today in Milton, the Board of Adjustment there is expected to discuss a resolution regarding a service window for the proposed Dunkin'. At a public hearing in September, the Planning and Zoning Commission approved designs for the window to be 32 feet from parking aisles, opposed to the minimum 60 feet that the town requires. Some people we spoke to who live in Milton, they have mixed opinions on what the new store could bring to the town other than what is the obvious, which is coffee.
I understand there's a demographic that is bummed because of that, but I also think growth is it's inevitable, so we might as well embrace it.
How are they getting out from there up back onto 16? What's that going to do with the traffic on 16?
Earlier this month, Milton Planning and Zoning unanimously voted in favor of the final site plans presented for Dunkin' Donuts. The drive-through store would be at 403 Broadkill Road.
Yeah, Matt, it sounds like Milton will be busy today as the Board of Adjustments will also discuss a resolution regarding plans for the Milton Theater. According to the agenda, project leaders want to reduce the required distance from the Broadkill River. Now, town documents state that all construction must be no closer than 50 feet from rivers, ponds, and lakes. That Board of Adjustment meets today at 7 p.m.
This just in, the Cheer Center in Georgetown is expanding, and here is what we're learning about this from Cheer. They're expected to break ground on the addition at its Gateway First Senior Residential Village. The project includes a new 59-unit apartment building and a new administration and support services building. Officials with Cheer say construction is expected to finish in October 2026, and today's groundbreaking takes place at 1:30 p.m. To learn more on how Cheer expects the expansion will improve services, head to the article on our website, CoastTV.com. Well, check this one out. It was just before 3 a.m. That was just a few hours ago. The Dodgers' Freddie Freeman with a game-winning home run in the 18th inning. Yes, 18th inning of Game 3 of the World Series. The Dodgers defeat the Blue Jays by a score of 6-5, and they lead the best-of-7 series 2-1 with Game 4 taking place tonight. And new overnight, President Trump is holding his first meeting with Japan's first female prime minister, setting the stage for his meeting with Chinese President Xi.
Yeah, Matt, and we're now entering week 4 of that government shutdown as NBC's Tracy Wilkins shows us benefits for low-income families that are at risk and higher health care premiums on the horizon.
President Donald Trump will be in Japan and South Korea today as he continues his 7-day trip through Asia. Topping the agenda at every stop is trade, with negotiators still ironing out the details of pacts with South Korea and Japan and taking steps toward agreements with China and Malaysia.
We're going to do tremendous trade together, I think more than ever before.
Trump met with Japan's newly elected prime minister, who is navigating the country's pledge of a tenth of Japan's economy, $550 billion to fund American projects and hopefully avoid higher tariffs.
We're just signing a new deal, and it's a very fair deal, and we look forward to welcoming Japan into the United States and a continuation. And it's something that everybody is very, very excited about.
Chinese delegations were meeting over the weekend to find a way to also avoid higher tariffs after Trump threatened a 100% increase on Chinese goods. During his upcoming meeting with President Xi, Trump said he also plans to raise the issue of fentanyl, accusing China of failing to curb its flow into the U.S. Meanwhile, back at home, Vice President J.D. Vance is preparing to meet with fellow Republicans to discuss the shutdown. The largest union representing federal workers is calling for an end, pressuring Democrats, while federal workers are feeling the brunt.
It's a lot of uncertainty. Bills continue to pile up. I have car notes, I have children to feed, I have a family to take care of, I have a mortgage to pay. So it's a lot of uncertainty.
In Washington, Tracy Wilkins, NBC News.
Back here at home, Ocean City leaders are looking at fire hydrants in town. According to the agenda for today's town council meeting, leaders could improve an assessment by ZZLEM, that's the watering solutions. Ocean City leaders will gather at 1 p.m.
Happening today, the Parks Department is expected to recommend a contractor to the Ocean City Council that could replace all the lights at Northside Park. Now, according to meeting documents, the current lights used for all three at the park are at the end of its life cycle, and the department is concerned about safety costs and maintenance issues with the current lights. It could cost up to $500,000 to replace those lights.
Today in Delaware, honoring the state's first responders, October 28th marks First Responder Day in the first state. This includes all firefighters, police, EMTs, and paramedics. We're just getting started today in this hour of Coast TV News.
Yeah, coming up, impending deadline on increasing fees, why Delaware State Parks say more money is needed.
Also, proposal for more parking. That's what leaders in Salisbury are looking at after concerns from the police department.
Still ahead, cotton candy for a cause. We've got a great story for you to watch here. How one family turned their daughter's sweetest joy into a legacy of love. And there we have First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. He is working in the Weather Center, tracking some of those windy conditions we're expecting today. And we're checking in with Chris next.
Good Tuesday morning, Delmarva. Hope your morning is off to a fantastic start. It's a dry start, but a windy one at that, especially at the beaches. We're checking into Lewes right now, 52 degrees there, so it's a rather mild start, but you could see that strong east to northeast wind gusting upwards of near 39 miles an hour. Indian River Inlet to 33 in Ocean City, and that is allowing for some mild temperatures, especially across portions of Sussex County, 57 Rehoboth, but cooler spot 43 in Harrington, and we are at 50 in Laurel. We were tracking some light showers across Accomack County, some heavier rain extending across the Outer Banks as this area of low pressure begins to push off the coast. So we'll see scattered showers today. More nuisance variety shower activity, at least through the evening. We get a bit of a break Wednesday, and then a more significant storm system rolls in here Wednesday night through Thursday, and that will bring around some heavier rain and even the threat of damaging winds. Lewes, we're at 59 this afternoon through 60 in Chicotee, with those scattered showers developing through the afternoon. My full 7-day forecast is coming up in minutes. Matt.
Okay, Chris, got some things to know here before heading out to trick or treat. Beware of ways to stay safe. According to experts from Johns Hopkins Children's Center, costumes that include swords or long sticks that could hurt children if they fall. Use face paint instead of masks. That's for better visibility. Only use well-lit routes for trick or treating, and review treat labels before giving them to children.
This may be the most fun story that we have for you today. You may have seen this flying around. It's called a backfly, and it's flown out of Milton by father-daughter pilot team John and Heather. It's a one-of-a-kind drone-like plane in the entire country, even being called a flying car. It's inspired by a local grandfather to make a miniature version for his grandson. So they all got together and they got it done.
For a lot of people, being a parent is hard enough all on its own. But for those that are parents and dealing with a child that has some disabilities, doing everyday normal tasks, which are hard enough, can seem almost impossible. In this week's Ties That Bind Us, reporter Emma Aiken shows us how one family turned their pain into purpose to help out others.
Making cotton candy. Gia and Tone Love say the sweet treat became a favorite of their daughter, Sanaya.
She grabbed my cotton candy from a fair that I went to, and she snatched it and put it in her mouth, and she started going, ah, like it's good, and it melted in her mouth. She didn't have to chew it. It wasn't hard for her, and she was so happy.
Sanaya was born with a rare condition called microcephaly, which caused her to have cerebral palsy, autism, and epilepsy. So as you can imagine, eating most foods wasn't easy. But cotton candy was different, except after trying the treat, Sanaya had an allergic reaction, which her doctors say were probably from artificial dyes. But the Loves weren't giving up.
What's a mother to do? I figured out how to make it organic, where it's less sugar in it than a can of soda, a box drink for kids. There's no artificial flavors, there's no dyes, there's no preservatives in it. It's it's as good can get.
In 2020, Sanaya passed away from her condition just shy of her 12th birthday.
So after that, we decided we were going to help families of parents that have children that have special needs all through Delaware with services that we couldn't get.
So the Loves started a nonprofit called Run Sanaya Run. And the money made from the Loves LLC, Nana's Candy Clouds, goes directly to the nonprofit.
People, I guess, just assume if you have special needs child, you know how to handle it.
Yeah.
You have support systems in place, but it's just not true. There's many people who have children with, special needs that need assistance of some kind or another.
That's what Run Sanaya Run does. It facilitates those needs for families to help make their lives easier.
I think until you really serve, you don't realize that serving is better than being more rewarding than being serviced. And I will say, and us doing this now, how much joy we get from just helping others.
Every purchase serves a purpose. And now Sanaya's smile lives on in every swirl of cotton candy and every life touched by Run Sanaya Run. For the ties that bind us, I'm Emma Aiken.
Time is 6:21, and you are looking live at the bright lights along the canal in Lewes. And Chris, wind is a big story for our conditions today.
Yeah, that's right. And we're already seeing gusts upwards of near 40 miles an hour, especially at the beaches. These are sustained winds, 24 Rehoboth, 31 Indian River Inlet to 16 in Ocean City. Not much in the way of wind the further west you go on the peninsula, but this is really going to be a factor along the beaches today, where we're seeing gusts upwards of 39 Indian River Inlet to 33 in Ocean City. And with the strong winds and the added cloud cover, we're not seeing the cold temperatures this morning, especially at the coast, where temperatures are generally in the upper 50s. Some lower temperatures there across northern Sussex and Kent counties, where temperatures are in the mid upper 40s. Now we have gale warnings up for the Delaware coast. Those runs through 6 o'clock, 45-knot winds off the coast. Gale warnings up through Wednesday morning through Ocean City down to Chickadee. Also a high surf advisory, Worcester County. That runs through Thursday morning. Wave heights as high as 11 feet. And then a wind advisory for Accomack County as well. That runs through Wednesday. Could see winds as high as 35, 40. And then we also have a coastal flood advisory through high tide this evening. Main shower activity has been across Accomack County, but you can see most of the heaviest rain is staying to our south. Big dome of high pressure keeping this system from going up the coast. So we'll see a few scattered showers, I think, by the afternoon. Right now in Laurel, we're at 49 degrees. Expect a mostly cloudy morning with temperatures around 56 by around 10. Few scattered showers develop through the afternoon. Temperatures holding in the upper 50s, but those winds are going to continue to howl out of the east-northeast as high as 35 to 40 miles an hour. It'll be a breezy evening and a breezy overnight as we go into Wednesday. Still going to see gusts upwards of 30 miles an hour, and then the winds really get cranking as this stronger area of low pressure approaches Thursday morning. Look at those winds out of the southeast gusting as high as 50 miles an hour. Now we are dry through most of the day, but you see a few of those scattered showers rolling in through the afternoon and into the evening. Not all that heavy in nature, and then we'll see more isolated shower chances through Wednesday under a mostly cloudy day, and then that more significant rain chance rolls in as that area of low pressure passes just to our west or virtually over Delmarva. As we go into Thursday morning, you could see some heavier rain breaking out, and that is our window of opportunity for the potential of a damaging wind threat as we go into midday Thursday. Now rainfall total on the order of 1 to 2 inches as we go into Thursday afternoon. Could see some locally higher amounts. It's a breezy day on Halloween, but a dry one at that, and then sets us up for a pretty nice weekend. Hurricane Melissa on the verge of making a landfall here in western Jamaica here over the next few hours. Look at the sustained winds, 175 gusting, 215 the pressure, 901. Going to make landfall here in Jamaica, producing a life-threatening storm surge, tremendous rainfall, upwards of 30 inches. Then it goes over to the Bahamas into Thursday before going well out to sea as we go into the end of the week. We have a yellow alert in play for Thursday morning for that threat of heavy rainfall and the damaging winds. 62 into Halloween, and then a pretty nice weekend on hand. We're looking at mostly sunny skies, highs around 61. Matt.
Thank you, Chris. Across Delmarva, as the Salisbury Police Department continues to grow, it says more parking is needed. According to Salisbury officials, a proposal aims to put a new parking facility on Burton Street. But for that to happen, the city must give up ownership of Burton Street and Mayor Andy Taylor says he's in favor of this idea and is suggesting ways to pay for it.
Might be able to pick up a grant to do it, but either way, I don't think it's going to be a terribly expensive structure. So it's going to be, I think, 2 or 3 bay, building, and we can just keep a few pieces of equipment in there.
First reading of the proposal took place at Monday night's City Council meeting. Both Mayor Taylor and the police chief say they are hopeful it will pass.
Up next on Coast TV News today, impending deadline for increasing fees. We'll tell you how you can voice your opinion in Delaware. We'll be right back. On your screen now is Cape Henlopen State Park. It is just one of Delaware's 17 state parks. It's also one of the places that DNREC is asking for a fee increase, saying the park hasn't increased its daily or annual passes since 2015, even though operating costs have jumped 127%. And here are just some examples. Some admission prices could double. Visitors we spoke with in the park says if DNREC increases those prices too much, it may push some people away.
I could see them increasing the in-state from $5 to $7.50, something like that. That would make a lot more sense to me. But to put it so high for out-of-state, you just stop people coming to the state.
DNREC had a series of open houses on the fee proposal. They also have an online survey. Now that is open until October 29th, and it closes at midnight.
Your Tuesday morning is off to a great start. We are dry from a rain standpoint, but quite windy at the coast. We've been tracking some winds this morning, upwards of 40 miles an hour. We're at 52 into Lewes, and it is going to be a windy morning and afternoon through Ocean City, Fenwick Island, with temperatures holding in the upper 50s. Watching the threat of a few scattered showers developing through the afternoon into the evening. Lewes, we're right in the upper 50s with those winds gusting as high as 40 miles an hour through Rehoboth. Cambridge, a lot of clouds through the day today. Winds upwards of 30-35 with those scattered showers developing through the afternoon. Our umbrella winner, Gay Jones of Milton, Delaware. You're the winner of our Coast TV weather umbrella. And as always, you get your latest forecast by dialing the First Alert Weather phone. We do have a threat of some more heavier rainfall in that extended forecast. I'll have the details coming up in the next half hour.
After the break on Coast TV News today, Lewes looking at bike safety. We'll tell you how leaders want to improve areas in the city.
Also, Circle sleeping rules revamp. The new regulations now in place after public feedback Monday night in Georgetown.
And fears for the hurricane increase. The storm now a Category 5 hurricane. How areas in its path are preparing. All that and more when Coast TV News today returns.
Now on Coast TV News.
Homeless complaints mount. How Georgetown is responding to concerns over a growing situation.
Melissa moves closer. What island nations are doing to prepare for the massive hurricane.
Good Tuesday morning, Delmarva. It's a breezy, mild start. I'm tracking a windy day with scattered showers and even more heavy rain and wind in the days ahead.
Milton measures Duncan. What the town is considering later today as the coffee and donut chain looks to set up shop on Broadkill Road.
This is Coast TV News Today.
October 28th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. And it's Tuesday.
Yes, it is. It's 6:32 a.m. on a Tuesday. We were trying to find something fun with Tuesdays. It was a real struggle for us.
No one's favorite day of the week is a Tuesday. There's not as much hope as there was on Monday to fulfill a beautiful week. My favorite day of the week is a Thursday.
I know you're a Thursday
girl.
girl.
I love a Thursday. What's your favorite?
Well, you chastise Chris for throwing this one out there, but I do go with Fridays.
Okay. And Chris, your favorite day of the week, but you can't say whatever day the Flyers are playing.
Yeah.
I don't want to be basic according to Grace, but I'll probably go Friday or Saturday because that's really the day I could probably watch an entire sporting event without going to sleep early, right? As we take a live look into Laurel, temperature there 49 degrees. Winds are out of the northeast and they have been howling this morning. We've seen wind gusts as high as 35 to near 40, especially along Indian River Inlet to Rehoboth. And that strong east-northeast wind is going to continue through the day today. Now, temperature-wise, not all that bad. It's a little cool there. Kent County and Sussex, northern Sussex, 42 there, but milder at the coast with the wind and the clouds. We've had a few showers across Accomack County, nothing all that heavy. The heaviest moisture has remained off to the south as this area of low pressure continues to intensify off the Carolinas, but instead of moving up the coast, it's moving out to sea. So we're expecting just a few scattered showers throughout the afternoon today. Coming up, we'll talk more about a more potent storm system later on in the week. I'll have that for you a little bit later on the newscast.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this half hour is Hurricane Melissa. It's intensifying in the Caribbean. The storm, Grace, is now a Category 5.
It's intensifying rapidly, and the areas expected to be hit the hardest: Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba. Reed Binion now showing us how those areas are preparing for the damage.
This threat is severe. We have been praying.
Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness preparing with the rest of the island nation for the impact of Hurricane Melissa, the strongest storm on the planet this year. The streets of Jamaica's capital city, Kingston, empty on Monday as the rare Category 5 hurricane raged in the Caribbean, with winds of up to 175 miles per hour. The enormity of the threat on full display as a hurricane hunter plane flew into the storm's eye on Monday. The slow-moving giant is expected to dump a massive amount of rain as it moves over Jamaica, causing landslides and catastrophic flash flooding. That, combined with the powerful storm surge and high winds, threaten widespread damage to infrastructure. The National Hurricane Center warned of the potential for, quote, total structural failure.
It could have an impact on our shores more to the western end of Jamaica. And if that were to happen, and I've said it before, I don't believe there is any infrastructure within this region that could withstand a Category 5 storm.
The Prime Minister saying after the storm passes, Jamaica will need help.
The long-term recovery and the medium-term recovery would require support. We continue to pray for the best.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
We have an update to a story that we brought you on Monday. Georgetown Town Council has voted to tighten rules on sleeping in the circle. That ordinance now bans it from sunset to sunrise. The change comes after complaints from community members about a growing number of homeless encampments near the train tracks, as well as wooded areas around the town. That rule to take effect immediately.
And we're now getting a live look in Lewes. That's an area, Kings Highway, where officials there say they could take action on crosswalks and lighting for bikers. This at the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. At a June meeting, committee members discussed a lack of crosswalks on Kings Highway and Savannah Road, saying to improve safety, the area needed better signage and crosswalk placement. The Lewes Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee is meeting today at 5:30 p.m.
Also in Lewes, the city taking the next steps in the Delaware property tax reassessment and its use and implementation of the Sussex County values. Now here's what that includes: a regulation demanding new assessments and tax rates to result in revenue neutrality for 1 year, and a proposed homestead reduction, and an overview of proposed implementation. Now, that generally is a property tax reduction on a homeowner's primary residence. According to the agenda, the Lewes Finance Committee could take action on this later today.
Also today in Milton, the Board of Adjustment expected to discuss a resolution regarding a service window for the proposed Dunkin'. At a public hearing in September, Planning and Zoning approved a request for the window to be 32 feet from parking aisles, opposed to the minimum 60 feet that the town requires. The drive-through store would be at 403 Broadkill Road.
Happening today over in Worcester County, they're looking to improve their emergency preparedness. County officials are attempting to bring in a consulting firm to revise and to update the existing hazard mitigation plans. Now, the most recent version of that was drafted 5 years ago, and it was approved by FEMA. The scope for the consultant will get reviewed this afternoon.
We have this in this morning. The Cheer Center in Georgetown. It's expanding, and they're expected to break ground on the addition at its Gateway East Senior Residential Village. The project includes a new 59-unit apartment building and a new administration and support services building. Officials with Cheer say construction is expected to finish in October of 2026, and today's groundbreaking is taking place at 1:30 p.m.
Tonight in Seaford, leaders will discuss funding for plans to demolish a building on Sussex Highway. According to the agenda, the building is owned by Galaxy Hospital, and there will be discussions regarding bids for a snowplow truck ahead of the winter season. That's up for public hearing, as well as a site plan for a review of construction of 2 6-unit townhomes on Hall Street, which is owned by Cypress Haven LLC. Seaford leaders will gather today at 7 p.m. This is new information overnight. President Donald Trump will be in Japan and South Korea today as he continues a 7-day trip through Asia. Trump met with Japan's newly elected prime minister, who is navigating the country's pledge of a tenth of Japan's economy. That's $550 billion to fund American projects and avoid higher tariffs.
Signing a new deal, and it's a very fair deal, and we look forward to welcoming Japan into the United States and a continuation. And it's something that everybody is very, very excited about.
During his upcoming meeting with President Xi, Trump said he also plans to raise the issue of fentanyl, accusing China of failing to curb its flow into the U.S.
And we have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Halloween shopping surge. We'll tell you the results of a new survey.
Also, Mahomes on the move. It's a strong second half for the Chiefs quarterback last night against Washington.
Coming up, delays in Dewey Beach. We'll tell you what areas DelDOT says a paving project is expected to begin. Stay with us on CoastTV News today.
Good Tuesday morning, Delmarva. It has been a windy start to the day, especially along the beaches where we've seen winds as high as 35 miles an hour. We're at 52 in Lewes, and you can see those winds right now, 39 Indian River Inlet out of the east-northeast, gusting 28 Bethany Beach to 33 in Ocean City. So we're seeing a mild start, not that really cold air that we had here yesterday with temperatures in the 30s. And we're going to see a few showers develop through the afternoon. Most of the heaviest rain is going to stay to our south as this area of low pressure swings off the Carolinas and out to sea. So we're looking at scattered shower activity today and then isolated chances tomorrow, and then a more significant rain chance as we go into Wednesday night through Thursday. So a lot of clouds today with scattered showers and windy conditions through the afternoon. My full 7-day forecast in minutes. Matt.
Okay, Chris. A paving project in Dewey Beach will focus on side streets off of Coastal Highway. DelDOT says work is expected to start on Monday. It'll continue through the end of the year between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. This is from King Charles Avenue to Collins Street. The agency says drivers should expect delays and also some parking restrictions.
How fun is this? The Salisbury Zoo is hosting a fundraiser to support a new habitat. The organization says its Wild Vibes Festival is taking place from November 15th from 1 to 5 p.m. Now, that event includes live music and food and local vendors. The zoo will also host animal-themed games and activities, and I may convince Matt to go with me.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning, sports fans. We have some champions to crown, and we head to the courts for a Bayside finale. Congratulations to the Queen Anne's County Lions on winning their 4th consecutive Bayside title. They came out on top in set 1, 25-16, set 2, 25-21, set 3, 25-19. As the Lions went on to sweep Parkside, the Rams will quickly get back to work as they take on North Carolina in the region quarterfinals on Wednesday at 5 p.m., while Queen Anne's County has a first round bye. Let's switch over to the field hockey pitch. Delmarva is home to some of the best field hockey in the country. We've seen multiple teams have title success from Pocomoke to Smyrna to Cape Henlopen, but none have had more recent success than Delmar Wildcats. Let's take a sneak peek of the Delmar field hockey documentary Dynasty that is set to air this Wednesday night.
The Delmar field hockey team has had unprecedented success, and now they're ready to tell their story.
We're not worried about what the other team's name is. We are just playing Delmar field hockey.
Progresses with the JV and the non-starters, they made those practices harder than some of the games we played.
Our skill level was just, I think, higher than it had been with any other team.
Watch the documentary special Dynasty, The Rise of Delmar Field Hockey, premiering Wednesday at 8 p.m. only on the Delmarva Sports Network, sponsored by Delmar Pizza.
That'll for sports. Have a great day, everybody.
And coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night's at 8:30 p.m. Maryland Eastern Shore hosts North Carolina Central in women's volleyball. Then you can catch the final score at 10:30. How about this final score from last night? It was a bad night for Washington in Kansas City. The Chiefs scored 21 unanswered points thanks to 3 Patrick Mahomes touchdown passes. Washington loses 28-7. They take a 3-game losing streak back home for this Sunday when they face the Seahawks.
Really looking forward to that, Matt. Well, if you had a rough week, cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from CoastTV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up now for free at coasttv.com/sign up to get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday. Here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Hope you're having a good Tuesday so far here along coastal Delmarva. And if you join us today at 4 on Coast Life, here's what's cooking. We've got another dish of the week for you, another delicious shrimp dish. And don't forget, if you go to Benvenuto, tell them you saw the dish of the week on Coast Life. You get 10% off your dish of the week order. We also are going to be hanging around Georgetown. Maybe you saw some scarecrow familiar faces. We're going to get the backstory on that as well. All of that and so much more is happening today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
Wind will be the theme today. A few scattered showers developing through the afternoon. Temperatures in the 50s. Then we track a more significant storm system that will impact the region Wednesday night through Thursday. I'll break it all down in my full forecast right after the break.
We're hitting 6:49 this morning, and we're taking a live look into Laurel. And Chris, I'm going to steal your job for a moment. I am forecasting a large cup of coffee.
Yeah, I could use one as well. We're seeing some windy conditions out there this morning. In fact, that wind coming off the ocean, east-northeast wind sustained 16 to near 33 miles an hour with some gusts even higher, 39 Indian River Inlet. Not much in the way of wind once you go west of Coastal Highway, but it is going to be a windy day on the peninsula nonetheless, especially for our beaches where the temperatures are quite mild at this hour. 57 Rehoboth, we're at 55 Dagsboro. A bit cooler where the cloud covers are a little thinner and not seeing much in the way of wind. Harrington coming in at 42 degrees. So we have a kind of a multitude of watches and warnings specifically for the coast. We have gale warnings up through Wednesday night for the Delaware coast as well as the coast from Ocean City down through Chickatinga. High surf advisory runs through Thursday morning. Wave heights as high as 11 feet. Wind advisory Accomack County, that is running through Wednesday morning, and that was for the threat of 35-mile-an-hour gusts as well as coastal flooding. I think coastal flooding is going to be an issue later on in the week, especially for the back bays through high tide. We've seen some light showers across Accomack County. Most of the heaviest rain has stayed to the south, and this area of low pressure, instead of going up the coast, is just going to go push due east. High pressure to our north, but I'm expecting a few scattered showers to break out throughout the afternoon. We're at 49 right now in Laurel, a mostly cloudy day with temperatures topping out in the upper 50s to a near 60 degrees in some locations. 58 Denton, 60 in Cambridge, 58 in Salisbury with those scattered showers. There's those winds gusting 35-40 at an east-northeast through the evening. A breezy night, winds still gusting upwards of 30 into Wednesday, and then they really turn strong as we go into Thursday morning. That's ahead of a more potent area of low pressure. We could be dealing with winds gusts as high as 50 miles an hour. There's those showers breaking out through the afternoon and evening. You can see not all that numerous, not all that impressive, but a rather damp evening and overnight. Tomorrow morning, maybe an isolated shower or two, and then we stay mostly cloudy into Wednesday ahead of that stronger band of rain that's going to be developing. Area of low pressure to our west is going to be spreading moisture into our area. Thursday morning could see some heavy rain, a rumble of thunder, even an isolated damaging wind threat as we go into Thursday morning. Rainfall on the order of 1 to 2 inches, potentially even 3 inches, but we dry out a windy Halloween. And here is Hurricane Melissa on the verge of making landfall here in western Cuba. Category 5 storm, a historical storm there, will be likely the strongest storm to ever hit Jamaica, and that system will then push over the Atlantic as we go into the late part of the week. We're at 62 into Friday. We dry out. Could see winds as high as 40 miles an hour for the trick-or-treaters, but we do dry out in time, and we're looking at a pretty nice weekend with highs around 61.
Thank you, Chris. The Cambridge Creek drawbridge is expected to close for repairs in November. According to the Maryland State Highway Administration, it's taking place from November 3rd through November 7th. However, marine and pedestrian traffic not expected to be interrupted during this work, and Cambridge officials say detours for drivers will be in place.
According to the National Retail Federation's annual consumer survey, people are expected to send an average of, drumroll please, $114 per person this Halloween. Now that adds up to about $13.1 billion, a record high. Candy total spending expected to reach $3.9 billion. That survey finds people will spend more than $4 billion on costumes. Spending on decorations also expected to exceed $4 billion.
Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom remains the most visited theme park in the world. That's according to an annual index that found nearly 18 million people visited the park in Orlando, Florida last year. Disneyland Park in California came in a close second with more than 17 million visitors in 2024. And that was followed by Universal Studios Japan, Tokyo Disneyland, and Shanghai Disneyland.
The time is now 6:53. We have not one, not two, but 3 coastal pets today, Matt.
Yeah, Grace, we got 3 dogs who, look there, they love the beach. We're talking Roxy, Webby, and Dexter. As you can see, they're enjoying the last few days where it won't be too cold to go to the beach.
They look so happy.
They do, and they were submitted to us by Heather in Bishopville.
Well, thank you, Heather, and we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. If you'd like, you can send us some photos and tell us what makes your pets so special. If you take a look at your screen now.
Yeah, that's where that QR code is at the top center. Scan it, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
6:56 this morning, and it's time for the things that you need to know before you go. Happening today in Milton, the Board of Adjustments is expected to discuss a resolution regarding a service window for the proposed Dunkin'. At a public hearing in September, leaders approved the plans for the window to be 32 feet from parking aisles, opposed to the minimum 60 feet that the town requires.
Lewes taking the next steps in the Delaware property tax reassessment and its use and implementation of the Sussex County values. Here's what that includes. It's the regulation demanding new assessments and tax rates to result in revenue neutrality for 1 year. There's also a proposed homestead reduction. An overview of proposed implementation. According to its agenda, the Lewes Finance Committee could take action on this later today.
As we take a look at our 10-day forecast, we are going to be dealing with some windy conditions today, especially at the beaches, gusts as high as 40 miles an hour. We are going to see a few scattered showers develop through the afternoon and into the evening. Not a whole lot of rain expected over the next 2 days, but watching Wednesday night through Thursday, we have a yellow alert in play. Could be dealing with winds as high as 50 miles an hour come Thursday morning.
And, well, thanks, Chris. And thank you for joining us here on Coast TV News today.
Today's show is coming up next at 11 a.m., and we will see